When my 17-year-old daughter, Lily, was excluded from my sister's wedding, I didn't protest. I didn't beg or try to reason. I simply said, "We won't be attending," and that was the end of it. I'm Charlotte Miller, 39 years old, a nurse practitioner living in Vermont. I've been Lily's mom since she was 3. She came into my life with quiet, searching eyes, watchful and wary, as if she wasn't sure yet whether the world was safe. The first time she called me mom, I cried alone in the car after preschool drop-off. That moment meant everything. From the beginning, I made her a promise: she would never feel unwanted in this family again. I thought I was keeping that promise, until Brittany's wedding. My younger sister got engaged last spring. It was all very showy: giant ring, Instagram announcement that read like a bridal magazine caption. I congratulated her, of course. Lily even made her a handmade card, decorated with glitter and paper bells. It was beautiful. Brittany smiled, said it was sweet, then tossed it in the backseat of her car. I found it weeks later, crushed under a fast food wrapper. Still, Lily stayed hopeful. She browsed dresses online, debated hairstyles, and asked if she could help with decorations. Nervous, but excited. Then the invitation arrived, gold-trimmed, glossy, formal. I opened it at the kitchen counter while Lily did her homework nearby. It included all the standard details, but one line changed everything. Adults only, 18 and over, strictly enforced, no exceptions. I read it twice. Lily must have noticed my face, because she looked up and asked, "She doesn't want me there?" I replied gently, "It's an 18 and over wedding." I tried to keep my voice steady, though my hands were shaking. She was quiet for a moment, then she asked, "Is it because I'm adopted?" That question broke something deep in me. She didn't ask with anger or tears, just resignation, like she already knew the answer. I told her, no, absolutely not, but I understood exactly what she meant. It wasn't the first time Lily had been made to feel like she didn't belong. The exclusions were subtle. My mom would refer to her as Charlotte's girl instead of using her name. Brittany would say your daughter, like Lily wasn't her niece, just a tag-along. I kept telling myself it wasn't intentional, that maybe, with time and patience, things would change, but the signs kept adding up. At a family dinner, Lily offered to help in the kitchen. No one responded. She just stood there, holding a plate of vegetables, waiting for direction that never came. At Easter, every grandchild had a personalized basket, except Lily's. Hers simply read Happy Spring in a generic font. She didn't complain. She just smiled and thanked them politely, like she always did. One time she drew a picture of our little family, me, her, and my husband Eric, and gave it to my mom. Bright colors, tiny hearts. My mom said thank you, set it down, and never mentioned it again. Later, Lily asked why it wasn't on the fridge like her cousin's drawings. I had no answer. I wanted to believe they didn't realize how they made her feel, but deep down, I knew better. When Lily was 6, she told my dad she wanted to be an artist. He laughed and said, "Better pick something practical." At 8, she offered to help plan a family party. Brittany said, "That's cute, but maybe let the adults handle it." Dismissive, not cruel, just constant enough to chip away at her confidence. I kept trying to bridge the gap, inviting them to her plays, her birthdays, her milestones, but the more we showed up, the clearer it became. They saw Lily as temporary, like I'd eventually have my own child, like she was a well-meaning phase, not my forever. They never said it aloud, they didn't have to. The wedding invitation confirmed it. That "no exceptions" clause wasn't about consistency, it was a message: she's not really part of us. I didn't call Brittany, didn't explain, I just clicked not attending. The next day, my phone lit up. "Hey, just saw your RSVP, everything okay?" Then another. "If this is about the age thing, we're being super consistent with everyone. Nothing personal, right?" Nothing personal. Except it was. Lily wasn't a friend's kid or a distant relative. She was Brittany's niece, my daughter. She was 17, not a child. She had made a card, picked a dress, practiced hairstyles. She wanted to be included. But all that was dismissed as a technicality. I didn't respond. A few hours later, my other sister Melissa texted. "Tessa said you're not coming, what's going on?" Then my mother called. She only calls when something's wrong. I answered with a heavy heart. "Charlotte," she said, "I heard you're not coming to the wedding. Is this really about the age limit?" I replied, "Lily wasn't invited. I'm not going without her. She's almost 18. There was a pause. Then my mother said, "It's not like she's a little kid, she's family." I waited. Nothing else, no apology, no recognition of how Lily might have felt. Then came, "Don't punish your sister over this, it's just one night." I didn't argue, just said, "We're not going." Then I hung up. I thought that would be the end of it. It wasn't. The group chat lit up. Melissa was first. "Can't believe you're making such a big deal over one rule, you always need to stir things up." Then Brittany, "This isn't about Lily, you're making it about her." And finally, my mom, a long message about forgiveness, family, and how hard it was for her to be caught in the middle. Meanwhile, Lily deleted the dress photos from her phone. No tears, no drama, just quiet, methodical erasure, like it didn't matter anymore, like she'd expected this outcome all along. And that, more than the texts, more than the wedding itself, was what hurt the most. She wasn't surprised. She already knew what I had taken too long to admit. They never truly saw her, and deep down, she had stopped hoping they would. The wedding came and went, no one apologized, no one brought it up. It was as if they expected life to return to normal, like Lily's exclusion had been a simple misunderstanding, not a fracture. Then December arrived. 4 years, I hosted Christmas, it was tradition, I cooked, I cleaned, I dragged the big table out of the garage and made room for everyone. I always showed up, even when I didn't feel like it. Not this time. No texts went out, no meal plan, no head count. When my husband Eric asked, "Should I order the extra chairs?" I just shook my head. No extra seats this year. He didn't press, Lily didn't either, they understood. But the silence from me clearly didn't sit well with the rest of them. Mid-December, the messages started. "Melissa, hey, are we still doing Christmas Eve at your place? Let me know what to bring." And then Brittany, "We'll be 5 again. Let me know if Lily wants anything special this year, if she's even coming this time." If she's even coming this time. As if Lily had chosen to miss the wedding. As if she hadn't been deliberately left out. I didn't reply. For the first time in years, I didn't polish the floors or light the candles or stock the wine rack. I didn't perform, I didn't pretend. And when I stayed silent, they started calling, first my mom, then Melissa, then Brittany, then a voicemail from my dad. "Charlotte, we just want to know what's going on, your mother's upset. It's not too late to do the right thing." The right thing. As if the right thing was inviting people who had rejected my daughter. As if a meal could patch over what they refused to acknowledge. So no, we didn't host Christmas. Instead, we made lasagna in pajamas. Lily baked misshapen sugar cookies that crumbled in our hands. We watched movies, we laughed, we opened presents early. There was no tension, no tight smiles, no walking on eggshells. It was quiet, safe, whole. And that's when I finally saw it clearly. All those years, I'd mistaken tradition for love. I'd believed that hosting meant I was part of something, that holding it all together meant I belonged. But this Christmas, without the noise or pretending, I understood. Peace doesn't come from avoiding conflict. It comes from refusing to ignore it. A few days later, Lily was curled up on the couch, wrapped in her favorite blanket, sketching. She always drew when she was sorting through something too big for words. I was folding laundry nearby when she paused, pencil in midair. Without looking up, she asked, "If I wasn't adopted, do you think they'd like me more?" I froze. Then I sat down beside her. "Sweetheart," I said quietly, "they might have done a better job pretending, but how they treat people who aren't like them, that was never about you." She looked at me with those same steady eyes she'd had the day we met, eyes that saw through everything. "I don't think I want them to like me anymore," she said. There was no bitterness in it, no anger, just clarity. Like a line she'd drawn for herself. And in that moment, I stopped waiting for an apology. I had spent years shrinking myself to keep the peace, being kind, being patient, hoping they'd come around. But my daughter wasn't small, she was brave, she was done pretending. And if she had the strength to draw that boundary, I had the strength to honor it. A few days later, my dad called again. I didn't answer. This time, he sent a message instead. "Your mother isn't sleeping, she feels like she's lost you. We know we messed up, but that doesn't justify shutting everyone out. That's not who you are." I stared at that message for a long time, those 5 words. That's not who you are. For a long time, I asked myself the same thing. Am I being too harsh, too sensitive, too cold? But now I know, this is who I am. I'm someone who finally understands what she will, and won't, tolerate. Someone who knows that protecting your child's dignity isn't cruelty. That keeping the peace at the cost of your child's wholeness isn't love. It's fear. Fear, dressed up as loyalty. And I'm done being afraid. Then came the final blow, a voice message from Brittany. One of those syrupy recordings, where every sentence sounds sweet, but slices just beneath the surface. I just think it's sad, Charlotte. You always said how much you love Lily, but now it feels like you're using her as a shield. Like any time someone doesn't treat her like royalty, you cut them out. That's not healthy, that's not parenting, that's obsession. I didn't finish listening. I deleted the message, blocked her number. Because if loving my daughter without apology is what you call obsession, then yes, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with making sure Lily knows she deserves to belong. That love isn't something you earn by being quiet, easy, or invisible. That tolerance is not the same as acceptance. I'm obsessed with protecting the one person who needed me most. The one who was always asked to shrink. The one who had to work twice as hard to be seen in a family that claimed to love her, but rarely showed it. No, I don't regret it. What I do regret is all the years I stayed silent. The holidays where I let people in who made her feel like a guest in her own home. The birthdays where she smiled politely while others barely acknowledged her. The thank yous she gave to people who never bothered to learn her laugh, her hobbies, her favorite color. I regret every time I chose comfort over courage. But not anymore. Because Lily has never asked for much. What she has always needed is simple, a mother who chooses her. Fully, without hesitation, every single time. And that's exactly who I am now. I'm not the keeper of family traditions. I'm not the fixer, the peacekeeper, the one who smooths things over so no one else has to feel discomfort. I'm Lily's mom. And if that means closing doors, gently, firmly, finally, on people who can't or won't see her worth, then I will close them. Not out of spite, but out of love. Because this isn't about revenge. It never was. It's about love, the real kind. Love that doesn't flinch. Love that doesn't apologize for protecting what matters. Love that says, you are worth defending. And I will never let anyone teach you otherwise. The new year came quietly. No big countdown, no noise. Just the three of us, me, Eric, and Lily, curled up by the fire, playing a clumsy board game she got for Christmas, laughing at how bad we all were at it. And in that small, imperfect moment, I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Relief. I wasn't waiting for another text. Another backhanded comment. Another dinner filled with forced smiles and silent wounds. I wasn't walking the tightrope between their feelings and my daughter's right to exist fully. I was just living. With my family. My real family. Looking back, I had 100 chances to speak up louder, sooner. But healing doesn't always come with fireworks. Sometimes, it comes quietly, with a single choice. Like saying no. Like not setting extra places at the table. Like letting silence speak in your place. And when I think about Lily's question, do you think they'd like me more if I wasn't adopted? Yes, it still breaks something inside me. But I'll never forget her answer. I don't think I want them to like me anymore. That wasn't anger. That was freedom. That was clarity. That was the moment she learned the lesson I wish I'd learned sooner. That real love doesn't hurt. It doesn't ask you to shrink. It doesn't require you to be easy to digest. It just loves. Loudly, boldly, unapologetically. So if you're hearing this, and any of it feels familiar, if you've ever had to choose between keeping the peace and being at peace, let me tell you, it's okay to choose yourself. It's okay to choose your child. It's okay to stop performing and start protecting what matters. Even if it disappoints everyone else. Because here's the truth. Love that asks you to be smaller isn't love. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. Just silence. A door not opened. A seat not set. A message left unread. A life finally lived on your own terms.